Hello and welcome to Centurion's Corner, and today we are doing another hangout video. For one, it's slightly different in this episode. We have clone troopers on the shelf. Normally it's all Marvel Legends all here on out, but I decided to do something slightly a little bit different, and we can just hang out and actually talk about the ARC Trooper mould for a little bit, and the reasons why this guy looks like the way he does now. So starting off the bat, we had Echo that came out. It's a fantastic body, this is. Almost up there with the Stormtrooper in my opinion. Fantastic, we've got all these extra sculpts. The paintwork was great. Yes, we did add a little bit extra to this guy. But yeah, really cool. And I just can't see why that we haven't had Jesse yet, or even Fives in the Echo armour. Or not Echo, the ARC armour, to be honest with you. And it just seems sort of like quite baffling. And I've had this guy over here for a long time, probably almost a year, kept in his packet, because I kind of always wanted to do him as sort of a Rancor squad. I think it was Blitz I wanted to make him into, and I was kind of like certain, because obviously in the vintage collection they've already got Fives and also got Jesse as well in the ARC Trooper, but we're not even anywhere near or any signs that we're going to get Fives in the Black Series in the ARC armour. So I thought, well, maybe I'll make it. But now, since then, they have also actually said that they're doing the 20th years of Clone Wars. So do you think, let me know comments down below, do you reckon they're going to re-release this guy as Fives in the 20th anniversary? I really do hope so, but I've got a feeling that they're going to make him another exclusive once again. So I'm just going to wait until there's any kind of confirmation about that, and then I'll dig this guy out. If they don't make a Fives, then this guy will definitely turn it into a Fives for sure. So next up, it was the actual Fordo figure over here, which I thought was quite a letdown. We can actually look at this one here. I actually purchased quite a few of these a while back. The 50th Lucasfilm anniversary here. I actually picked this up from the guys over on Instagram with Jedi Archives. They got a store and everything like that. Fantastic customer service. They're really great people, to be honest with you. And I picked up a couple of these off them just for actually purely for customs, because I thought I'm going to make my own ARC Troopers. And really cool. I really like the look of it. Although the review was a little bit of a letdown, because I just didn't think it actually sort of like gave off that this was actually Fordo. I found it quite lazy, to be honest with you. So looking at the figure a little bit more in detail, I kind of wish that they just grade these bits off and grade this off, or actually just blacken this with a bit of gunmetal, just to give it that more realistic detail. If you're putting it on there, paint it, don't just leave it white. It doesn't look right, it just looks really cheap and nasty, apart from all here. And then a little while ago, probably about 3 years ago now, I actually obviously made the custom Fordo. I mean, you can see how much dust is on this guy. He's just been sat on the shelf and hardly getting down now. But he was one of my favourite customs I've ever made on there. But just putting these guys side by side, he looks a bit too scrawny now. It does look at his showing his age. So let me know in the comments as well down below. Would you like me to try and skim this one down and actually make a proper Fordo? And then I'll have another buck that one day I could actually make this into another custom, because what I'm thinking, all these are separate. I could actually just cut all these off and actually just make a proper sort of Fordo out of it, trim this down, put it on the proper side, and just work with it to see what I can actually get out of it, to be honest. Because I think even this could come off, because underneath I can see the little two sort of like dashes on these sort of like breastplate. So I'm not 100% sure if this is like over the top and just glued on, or maybe there is a big sort of like cut out block inside where this sort of slots into. I'm not too sure. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking, or I might even just keep this and actually make my own custom and keep this as my Fordo on the shelf and like that. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you want to see? Do you want me to sort of customize this one into Fordo, or make this Fordo and customize this one into something new? Let me know. So obviously we went over to the Umbara agent, which is a pretty cool. It's quite nice. But again, did we really ask for this one? I would have rathered the Jesse or the Fives, to be honest, rather than this figure. But I do kind of like it. It kind of grew on me when I actually purchased it. It kind of thought actually it is pretty cool, to be honest. So yeah, I'm quite glad that they did bring it out. And you know, Battlefront was a really good game as well. So yeah, it looks great, and I didn't really have to mod it or customize it. I mean, it'd be quite nice to have a bit of silver kind of chippings and stuff over it, but I don't think it really needs it. I think it looks really cool, to be honest. So yeah, I mean, putting that down, that was the end of the buck of this. Like, they haven't used this figure for a long time, which is a bit strange. So yeah, so with this one, obviously I purchased this guy, and I did say in the video as well that I weren't too fussed about it, that I might actually make him into my own custom clone trooper. So I did ask for some ideas out there. There's only a few that come back, so I kind of sort of took a little bit of inspiration, went online and had a look at a few other bits as well. So that's why I come up with this guy. I haven't named him yet. I haven't given him a name or a legion or anything like that. So we take a little closer look at this guy and why is he the colour that he is. So first of all, we'll go through and just go through his looks as well. So obviously I have got rid of the black and the red that was all around on the actual figure itself, and it just kind of like brings it quite right down. So I just used the acetone on here. With the acetone getting rid of the red, it obviously got rid of the visor, so I just decided to make it more kind of Ark Republic Trooper looking on here. Kept the red mostly and just sort of expanded upon it around on the sides and kind of arched it off, so it's got a kind of nice kind of sort of curvature to it. Kept the red part on down here, blued off this pauldron. We've got an 18 on this side, and on this side we have got a number 6 as well, and I kept the red. Coming down here we've got the blue, we've got the white triangle once again, which coincides with his helmet, and then going down just added a bit of black rather than the grey. I was going for the grey, but it just didn't stand out enough for me. It just weren't popping enough, so that's why I went for the black. So I blacked all his belt off, adding all that around on there as well, blacking out his holsters and giving all these sort of the ammo pouches just that extra black as well on there, because that's what I was finding as well with this one, where it's not painted so much. Just adding those details to this guy made him look even more better, like made him really pop. It just looked really nice, to be honest. Once I painted all the details in, I go in the black brow, I put all the black on this part around here and the grey in this sort of part of his helmet. I just gave him a proper paint job before actually painting the rest of the figure up. So yeah, it just looks a lot better with a bit of paint on there. And then going down to his skirt, on this side, CC for Centurion, and on this side as well. So Centurion's corner, you know, for the CC down here. Got the blue, and just blacked off all his kind of shin pads as well. We've got the blue lines just sort of scraped on there, all weathered all the way around. And on the back, I'd actually blacked off his backpack as well and gunmetaled a little bit more. So yeah, we've got the black on here and the greys, and obviously the black brow going all around as well. Added these extra kind of blue markings and stuff on his arm, which coincides with this part here, and then on his cheek part, these kind of sort of markings, and then nothing on this side. But I have actually sort of like painted in his wrist rocket with the black and a bit of the copper as well, rather than just being, I think it's all red on the original. Yeah, it's just like all red, so just adding that detail on there really makes it go. So yeah, all cool. So the reasons why I have gone for this colour, well, as you can see, there is a Pepsi can in the back here, but there's no reason for the Pepsi can at all. But I'll just go through kind of a bit of history of why the channel and why the logo. So I'll just bring the logo up on this side so you can see my lovely face, which is in the middle of it. But the whole reason around it is I do love Star Wars, and if you remember the old one, it still had the clone trooper on there, but it had the same markings around it. So just taking off my watch on the side here, I actually love the bezel on this, which is obviously the blue and the red. And if you follow me on Instagram and all that, you see that I put watches down to it. It reminds me of Spider-Man. It reminds me of that cool hero stuff as well. It's a homage to the Rolex GMT as well. And yeah, so with the markings around on here, the reason why he's got the markings on the top of his head is because he's got the arrow, which is the same as the watch on the side. And obviously down here is the arrow in the blue, which is the same at the top. On the top, on his shoulders, so we got the 6, and that's why it's that way around. And on the other side, we've got 18, which is on there. And then I put dots on the other side of his pauldrons, which is obviously for the other sort of minute markers around on there as well. So yeah, it's kind of reminiscence to my sort of my logo, to my favourite watch, And also, they also give this the nickname in the watch world, the Pepsi, and that's why the Pepsi can is there. So yeah, just like really cool, really like great that now I have actually my own sort of like clone trooper on the shelf. I think he's come out pretty cool, to be honest. So I kept adding a little bit extra to it. I was doing a tutorial for it, but I just thought it doesn't need it at all because it's my own creation. Why would you want to make my version of a clone, to be honest with you? But I mean, you can see it's just blue and red just over the top of it. So yeah, I'm really quite proud of him, but I haven't given him a name. So again, comment down below, give him a name for me. You can also give him a legion as well, and let me know in the comments down below, and then hopefully I'll be able to name him by the end of the week. So thank you so much for joining me on this one. Don't forget, you can comment down below, subscribe, ding that bell, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.